The Frankly Speaking Roof Cam, brought to you by Boss Security in Horseheads. Contact them today for all your business and home security needs. Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Acomb. We're broadcasting from the Hesselsons in studio. And in that studio, we have candidate for Corningtown Justice Randy Dye. Thanks for joining us again.
You're welcome.
All right, it's getting nitty-gritty time.
Yeah, we're getting down there.
How's the campaign been going since the last time we talked?
It's been going good. Very well. Very well. Very happy.
What have you been hearing? Because obviously you're knocking on doors. You're putting out signs.
Yeah.
I think everybody can attest to that.
Yeah.
What have people been saying?
Well, the big thing is just getting people to the primary.
Yeah.
And reminding them that you have to be out there. Early voting starts
The 13th.
Saturday.
Yeah.
At the annex up there in Bath. Mm-hmm. Got to get out there because being a primary, a lot of people don't pay attention to it.
Well, that's $1 million question that we've been asking everybody. How do you get people out there? Because if they go in, now Democrats have state comptroller and they have Congress. So they're going to come out. Those are big ones. Yeah. But on your ballot, it's just you and your opponent.
Yeah, and I think in the county there's only, 6 primaries?
Yeah.
So you got to make phone calls. You got to go to the doors. You got you got the signs. You got emailers going out. Stuff on the mailboxes. And let them know. Hey, we're here. We're open for business. Come if you got questions, come ask.
And I think the biggest problem is even with the campaigning, it's almost as if you've got to do it the day of, just to remind people. It's more of a reminder.
The primary, and it's going to be one of the and also with the primary, this is a Republican primary for us, but I'm also on the ticket as a conservative and an independent. Yeah. So, I'm on 3 different slots on the thing. So, but we'll see what happens with the Republican, and we'll go from there.
So let's talk a little bit. I know we mentioned this last time, but tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, grew up here in the city, on the north side. Went to school, graduated Corning East, went on to Corning Community College, and then went to Rochester to school. Left there, got hired in the town of Irwin in 1981 as a police officer. Transferred to the village of Addison, spent 8 years in Addison, for which I was in charge, which was a lot of fun. Then left there, went to Painted Post, and from Painted Post I came to Corning PD in 1990, and retired out of here after 15 years. So.
Well, and obviously you retired. You've got things that probably are a lot more fun than being Corningtown Justice. So why did you decide to run?
After I retired, I worked for a company, private security investigation company for a while. I also worked for a company that went after tax fraud, tax cheats.
Gotcha.
It was a lot of fun. Both of them was a lot of fun. But now I'm at the point. I'm 67 years old. I decided I'm done. I don't want to do any more of that stuff. I was contacted about doing this, running for judge. I thought, that sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. I certainly have the time on my hands. I know it's only a part-time position, but I could definitely give it a full-time attention. And, see what happens here.
Well, and you're new to the political game. What is that? What does that feel like now that you've seen it firsthand?
I'm not a politician. I am not a politician. This is a town justice position, and you shouldn't be a politician. Politics should stay completely out of anything with a judge anyway.
Right.
And no. This isn't. I don't like it. Honestly, there's got to be a different way.
I would think so.
Now I understand, like with politics, with somebody running for president or an elected office where you're alderman, councilman or something like that. That's one thing, but a judge has got to be above all of that. And you're putting them in a position where you're trying to pick sides, and it's like, no, you shouldn't do that. So there's got to be a better way to do this, I would think, but I have no idea what that would be.
Right. And that's the biggest thing when I have candidates on, and I have to kind of do the disclaimer that I can't get too specific with a judge. But for a few months, they're allowed to be very political. And then I won't talk to them for 4 years because they're in office and they can't come on the show and talk about anything going on.
Which, I don't agree with that either.
Right.
A lot of people have a lot of questions for judges.
Of course.
Because not everybody's familiar with the law and how things work. So it should be fine for a judge to be able to come on and talk to you and say, if you have questions, this is how the system works. This is how the process works. Right. They don't allow you to do that. No. It's like being a retired judge. You're not allowed to, go out and campaign for somebody. You're retired. Why can't you? You
didn't know it was a lifetime job.
Yeah, and especially like if you're town justice, in a small town and you retire, you can't back somebody you like, publicly. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But that's the stake. So.
No. Well, and you mentioned getting questions, and you've been knocking on a lot of doors, whether petition season or now as we near primaries. What are some of the concerns, some of the things that people have expressed to you?
Honestly, with the town, with the justice, they don't really know.
No, they don't know what you're doing.
They don't know a whole lot about what the justice does. And that goes back to what I was just saying.
Yeah.
You know, it's too bad we can't come on and talk about, or
Sure.
justice can't come on. Basically, it's like, okay, who are you? You know, what do you got to offer to this position? Is this something that you can do? Because it is it's just not a fly-by-night position.
No.
It's a justice position. You got to be familiar with the law, and you got to be able to understand the law. And, of course, with my background in law enforcement.
Sure.
You know, and my dealings with all the judges over the years, I've dealt with a lot of very good judges.
Sure.
And I've learned a lot from them, so yeah.
What do you think when you look forward, if you are successful after the primary, or after the general election, I should say, what do you think the biggest issues you'll face in the town of Corning as justice?
With the town of Corning, I would imagine it's probably going to be traffic.
Yeah.
You know, that's the big thing in a small town. You've got, you know, your small claims is going to be something.
Sure.
Which small claims are tough because somebody walks away mad.
Right.
And in a small town, there's a good chance you're going to know both parties. You know? The only thing you're going to deal with as far as criminal-wise is up to a misdemeanor. You know, so, but still, you know, there are misdemeanors out there where you might have to sentence somebody to a heavy sentence.
Right.
And, you know, you got to be able to look at that person and say, is this the first time?
Right.
Or is this one of these where you've done it 3 times before?
Right. Maybe
you're not learning your lesson. You got to be able to read their character. So.
Right. And people may not realize that, but you're right. That could be awkward as you stop into Wegmans. There's your neighbor you just find.
Well, it's that way now.
Yeah, right. That's
when I was training guys, I would say, listen, every ticket you write, that person will remember you for the rest of their lives.
True.
You're going to write 1,000 tickets in your profession. You're not going to remember them all, obviously, but they're going to remember you.
That's true.
And I just had an incident a year ago where it was a person I had no recollection of came up to me and says, "Yeah, you wrote me a speeding ticket for doing, 55 and a 30 coming into the city of Corning back in 1990." Well, I don't remember you, but he remembered me. And
hopefully he's not a voter, right?
Yeah. No, he was not. Actually, he was very nice. He's like, "Yeah, I deserved it, man. You were right. I deserved it."
Isn't that funny?
Like, cool. Because a lot of them don't.
No.
You can tell. You walk down the aisle in Wegmans, and all of a sudden you see a guy, and you're like, "Uh-oh, I don't remember him, but I know by the look that I've dealt with him on a negative side."
I'm sure. Now, how has the race been shaping up? Has it kind of went the way you? I know you're new to politics, but the way you thought it was going to be?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the negative stuff.
Sure.
I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get into any of that stuff because it's not me. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, it's I'm new to this, so this is what it is.
Yeah. You got no other choice, right?
Yeah.
So what's your primary day going to look like?
Vote.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I might do the early voting because this might sound strange, but like my polling place is at the fire department in East Corning. I don't want to be there.
Right.
I don't want people to see me there. I just don't. I want someone saying, "Hey, he was at the polling place, influence people."
Right.
Even though I know that wouldn't happen, I'll go up and vote early.
Yeah.
I mean, just see what happens.
Because people don't realize the rules. I mean, if you go in and other than say hi in your name, it can be looked at as if you are trying to influence.
Exactly.
It's a really strict rule.
I put yourself in that position. That's what's nice about the early voting. You can go up there and do it, and.
You know what I like about early voting too, and this isn't for you, but sometimes we forget. June 23rd, it's not like every day we go and vote.
Right.
So if you get it out of the way, you go vote, and then on the 23rd you have nothing to worry about. Or heaven forbid you get sick or something like that. Just kind of get it out of the way. And as you said, it starts Saturday. It starts on the 13th, and that's at the Bath Annex. It's easy to find. They'll have signs everywhere. Or you can go on the 23rd and vote in person, which a lot of people like.
And that's why we're trying to get the word out right now. I mean, because the early voting starts Saturday, get out there and get it done. If you can't, can't do it later, it's there and available for you.
Absolutely. So what would you say, well, first of all, I'll ask this. How can people help your campaign as we near the end?
Vote.
Just vote, that's it, right?
I mean, we're more than happy for volunteers. I mean, anybody wants to knock on doors for us, and
of course.
get a hold of us, and we'll be happy to take you in, but just vote. Get out there and vote.
That's it. All right, what would you say to voters before they head to the booth?
I've got the experience, I would like to give the town of Corning the opportunity to put me in there, and I'll do a wonderful job for them if they do.
Yeah.
So
Well, great. Well, best of luck. And what's your day after the primary look like?
probably out mowing in the woods
there you
like
go.
I normally do.
There you
You
go.
know, it's agricultural.
Back to
stuff,
life,
but,
right?
Yeah.
Well, Randy, thanks so much for being on the program, and we'll probably talk to you after, all right?
Yep.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Stay with us. We'll be right back with Frankly Speaking after this.